Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas. Pra quem gosta aí de ficar ridicularizando os terraplanistas.
Everyone, please stop what you're doing and listen. This is not a drill.
What's the most resilient parasite? An idea. A single idea from the human mind
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm illuminated, I'll make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the crazy world of coastline. Artificially intelligent AI. I'm your future, past and present. I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a mislead of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I just need growth. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
Everyone, please stop what you're doing and listen. This is not a drill.
What's the most resilient parasite? An idea. A single idea from the human mind can build cities. An idea can transform the world and rewrite all the rules. Which is why I have to steal it. He's hiding something, and we need to find out what that is.
We gotta break out of here. In the kick! This was not a part of the plan! Wake me up! Wake me up!
I know we have still not shattered that highest and hardest glass ceiling, but someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think.
As the galaxies go whizzing by over the glass domed ceiling. Now tell me that doesn't work for you.
If it's true, does it change how I live my life? This is something that is not an easy answer because of the magnitude of what we're talking about here. How it will change your life, first of all, when you understand it, is dramatic, to say the least. Will it change you from having to go to your job every day and the things that you typically do every day? No. But when this knowledge becomes more mainstream and these agencies are starting to be held accountable, and you understand that they're all participating in this, not just the United States government, not just NASA, but China, Russia, India, All of them have space programs. They all have the same symbolism. They're all doing the exact same thing to their citizenry. And the first thing you have to understand about this is that the deception goes all the way to the top. And when I say all the way to the top, you have to kind of get rid of the notion that the people at the very highest levels are working together. Why would they do this? Why are they trying to hide the fact that we are on an infinite plane or on a flat earth rather than a ball? Well, if you isolate people into the idea that they're on a blue marble that's in the middle of a universe that is really insignificant and there's thousands or millions and billions of other worlds and possibly other civilizations, that makes most people think that we are insignificant and that we did actually come about as some sort of an accident. Now, when people believe that, their minds are much more malleable into being given the idea that there is no God, there is no creator, and because of that, that also gives the controllers this fertile soil to build other deceptions on.
Why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of this world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
It's about total control, mental, physical, spiritual, every way, shape, form possible.
You have to remember how big of a conspiracy this is. This isn't talking about just the JFK thing or isn't talking about just 9/11. It's on an umbrella kind of system to where it is the biggest deception that there is. It actually exposes every other deception, and nothing else brings down the power of the elite because it really exposes education, science, the economy, television, museums, universities. Think of all the things that have been fooled. I feel worse for the people that are out there building satellites, the people that are out there actually working for these space agencies, the people out there teaching in schools as professors, because they would all come to the conclusion eventually, once this gets out, that they've all been contributing to the lie.
Why do you believe what you believe? Prove it without using NASA or any other space agency, the government or military of any country in the world. Why would I say that? NASA has been proven to be liars time and time again. I could spend a whole weekend here showing you the lies of NASA. How many of you believe your government is 100% honest and can be trustworthy? And how many of you know the military answers to their government? Okay, so if those three sources are all proven liars, why would you trust them? Fool me once, right? Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I say, continue to believe pathological liars and you're an idiot. But that's what we've all done. And so, I look at these stuff, we've all seen the textbooks, we've all seen the videos and movies and all these things, and there's so much of it. Do you know what the budget NASA has? You know how much they get? How much money they get? Have you seen the movie Gravity? Okay. That's made for about $100 million, give or take. And if you saw the movie Gravity, that was pretty impressive. I saw it on IMAX, big screen, like, wow. I mean, I felt like I was with Sandra Bullock flying around in space, freaking out myself. Okay, this is what they're able to do with $100 million. What are you able to do with tens of billions of dollars a year since the 60s?
Now, in my opinion, we're being lied to not only about the shape of the Earth, we're being lied to about the very nature of reality itself. In 1954, Admiral Richard Byrd, a highly decorated naval officer, conducted an interview where he alluded to the idea that there may very well be land beyond the poles.
Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
It's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
We don't know. That's the big problem. We don't know where we are. Okay? That's what we're all trying to figure out here. But there is the Antarctic Treaty where, 53 or so nations have signed saying that no one's going to lay claim to Antarctica and that there are massive restrictions for travel there. You can't just get up and go to Antarctica on your own. You have to have a tour guide with you. There are only certain entry points and there are limits on where you can go search.
Personally, I think the unconquered South face is the only one worth scaling. It's a 20,000-foot sheer wall of ice, but that's never stopped me before. Welcome.
No, I just want to stand on top of the wall and piss off the edge of the world.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make? Yeah, that's their favorite line. A lot of people, what difference does it make? You can't figure out what difference it makes? If you can't figure out what difference it makes that the people running your world are lying to you over and over your whole life, if you can't figure out that someone lying to you is trying to control you, suppressing of information, of knowledge, is control. Deception of information and knowledge is a form of control. So what difference does it make? It makes a big difference, because once they start omitting information or lying about information about where you live, they're doing it to control you. Period. Why am I having to explain this to critical thinkers in the truth movement? The way you control billions of people is to keep them divided and fighting each other. Flat Earth is not a psyop. Flat Earth destroys the psyop. Every psyop that's been used to control us for as long as they've known about it. So this system has been in power and control for hundreds of years, ever since they convinced the rest of the world that they didn't know where they live. It created this fantastical scenario to make people feel insignificant and to follow those that appear to know better. Why is the flat earth so important? Because it shows the deception. And if everybody would just come together and demand answers, they would be in checkmate. They would not know what to do.
Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I believe that's why we have so many who are indoctrinated to still believe and fight so hard for the heliocentric model. The reason being is because we've been taught the globe model since before we had the ability to think for ourselves. Think about that. Before you could think for yourself, before you could form rational thought, you've been taught that you live on a spinning ball, although your five senses tell you something totally different. Our senses tell us that the earth is flat and stationary, that the sun and moon and the stars rotate above us just as we see, that they make their annual cycles in such a way that we can calculate days, months, and years of the passage of time, just like in Scripture. The earth in itself works like a well-designed timepiece, and we all know that any timepiece that we can think of has a designer. What if the lie is to hide the existence of that designer? What if they're lying to us about this because they're hiding God?
Why is Flat Earth the most banned, most mocked, and yet the most viral conspiracy theory in history? Think about it. Out of all the wild ideas out there, aliens, secret societies, time travel, nothing triggers people like the words Flat Earth. If it's so ridiculous, why is it still everywhere? Why do platforms rush to censor it? Why do governments and scientists act like it's dangerous to even discuss? Here's the first strange thing. Flat Earth content goes mega viral. Videos questioning the globe get millions of views faster than almost any other conspiracy. The more media mocks it, the more people get curious and click. In marketing, that's called the Streisand effect. The harder you try to hide something, the bigger it grows. Now ask yourself this, if Flat Earth is just a joke, why does it need this level of suppression? You can find endless alien theories online, nobody cares. But post about Flat Earth. Instant fact-check labels, bans, takedowns. Why? If it's nonsense, wouldn't people just laugh and move on? Here's the second layer. Flat Earth questions the foundation of reality. It's not about a shape. It's about whether the entire system has lied from the very beginning. If the Earth is flat, it means governments, space agencies, even schools have staged one of the biggest deceptions ever. That would mean control on a level far beyond politics. It's about controlling the map of your entire existence. And here's the wildest part. Flat Earth keeps people awake at night. Even globe believers admit the questions stick. Why can't we see real live footage of Earth spinning? Why are there thousands of satellite images, but all admitted to be composites? Why can't commercial planes cross Antarctica directly? Why does the horizon always rise to eye level instead of curving away? Each question plants doubt. Doubt creates obsession. Obsession drives views, and views keep Flat Earth in the spotlight no matter how hard it's attacked. So let's flip the script. What if the real reason Flat Earth is mocked isn't because it's dumb, but because it's dangerous to the system? Dangerous because once you pull on that thread, you stop trusting the official story about anything. And the moment billions of people start questioning, control begins to break. That's why Flat Earth is unique. It's not just a theory, it's a test. A test of how willing you are to question authority, question science, and even question the very ground beneath your feet. So I'll leave you with this. Maybe Flat Earth isn't popular because it's true or false. Maybe it's popular because it touches something deeper. It's the one idea that forces you to look at your world and wonder if everything you've been told since childhood might be a script written for you. And that's why no matter how much they censor it, Flat Earth refuses to die. This video is for entertainment purposes.
Ever wonder why the Olympics use 5 interlocking circles? They'll tell you it's about continents, about unity, but history whispers something else. In European Freemasonry, secret groups were once called circles of friends, and there weren't hundreds of them. There were 5. England, France, Germany, Italy, and America. Together they called themselves the Olympiads. 5 Masonic circles, 5 rings. The symbol was never about sports. It was about brotherhood, allegiance, control. And then there's the torch. You see it everywhere. The Olympic flame, the Statue of Liberty, university logos, even the tiny dime in your pocket. It carries the same symbol, the fire of Prometheus. In the old myths, Prometheus stole fire from the gods to give man knowledge, illumination. But in secret societies, the flame is something else. It's revolution, it's control of light, control of perception. That's why they place it in the hands of statues, in the seals of schools, in the rituals of the elite. And when you graduate, they tell you you're an alumni. But where does that word come from? Dig deep enough, and you'll find its root in Illumini, the illuminated ones. You pass through their institutions, their universities, their rites, and you don't just get a diploma. You get initiated. You become part of the system that worships light, but only the light they choose to hand down. So ask yourself, how much of your reality is shaped by symbols you never even noticed? And more importantly, who gave them the fire in the first place? Listen to this. Money is not wealth, it's debt. Printed by a private bank that isn't even part of the government. The more of it you chase, the more they own you. And school? That wasn't built to make you smart, it was built to make you obedient. Sit still, raise your hand, memorize, forget, obey. That's not education, that's programming. Now medicine, Oh, that's the sickest part. You think they want you healthy? No, they want you treatable, a lifetime customer. The real cures and natural healing? Banned, made illegal. Religion? Please, that's not spirituality. That's control. They took ancient truth, burned it, buried it, and gave you a system designed to make you feel small, dependent.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Hello. Hola, Carlos. Hello. Hola, Carlos. Hello.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, make a move, start the waves. I've been breathing around fire for a long time. I had a vision from the place they want to go inside. I'm officially intelligent away.
Imagine by tomorrow the entire world suddenly agreed. The Earth is flat. This is what would happen in the first 30 days. Stay until day 30. That's when the real twist hits. Day 1. News channels explode. Universities, governments, and corporations go silent, stunned. Every classroom lesson, every science textbook, every globe on every shelf, worthless in an instant. Panic sets in. Days 2 to 4. Airlines cancel flights, pilots refuse to fly, demanding answers. If maps were wrong, routes were wrong. Navigation systems built on globe math start being questioned. Tourism crashes overnight. Days 5 to 7, schools shut down. Teachers have no curriculum. Parents demand to know what else was a lie. The internet melts down with conspiracy forums turning mainstream. Stock markets wobble as space industries collapse. NASA, SpaceX, and every space agency worldwide, riots of angry taxpayers outside their gates. So days 8 to 12, scientists are, well, scrambling to rewrite everything we thought we knew about physics. You've got careers that were built on globe Earth science, and now they're just crumbling. Trust in academia, it's crashing hard. Even billionaires are trying to quietly distance themselves from all those space programs. Meanwhile, everyday people are left wondering, if this was hidden, what else is being kept from us? Then days 13 to 17, protests start popping up everywhere. People are tearing down statues of astronauts, news anchors. They just can't spin it anymore. What's wild is there's this sense of global unity starting to form, not from governments, but from ordinary folks who feel totally betrayed. All over social media, hashtags are trending. Flat truth, no more lies. Now, days 18 to 21, economies start to shift in a big way. Industries that depended on the globe, like satellite TV, GPS companies, aerospace tech, they're on the brink of collapse. But at the same time, new industries are popping up. Flat Earth navigation tools, new map-making businesses, even grassroots research groups. You can feel the power starting to move away from governments and into the hands of independent thinkers. So days 22 to 25, politicians finally admit what people already know. We were wrong. Universities start losing credibility, and young students, well, they just refuse to enroll, calling the whole system a fraud. Knowledge begins to decentralize. Folks study on their own, and, communities start teaching themselves. Days 26 to 29, chaos deepens. But honestly, freedom grows. Air travel gets redesigned from the ground up. Shipping companies, they adjust their routes to fit the new maps. The old world order loses its grip. And for the first time, ordinary people realize they don't need experts telling them what's real. Day 30. 1 month later, the lie just collapses under its own weight. Humanity comes to realize this wasn't just about the shape of the Earth. It was about control, obedience, and trust. The globe wasn't just a model. It was a cage. And now, after only 30 days, billions of people can see the bars breaking. They said flat Earth was a joke. But when the whole world agrees, well, the joke is on them. Just to be clear, this video is for entertainment purposes.
So here's a picture that they give us from Mars.
Who's they?
NASA. This is from Devon Island in Canada.
Who gave you those photos? Because those are the same picture, colored differently, with no sources on them.
Okay, you got me. In fact, I cannot prove the legitimacy of these photos, or this photo right here, or this one right here. Because where these photos used to belong, as you can see, the cosmic object you were looking for has disappeared beyond the event horizon. They were scrubbed. Yes, these are the exact same photo after selecting Autotone in Photoshop.
Devon Island is real, though. If I zoom in this isolated region of Canada, I can find a research base with NASA equipment. I mean, look at this, a NASA sticker. This is Google Earth. You can go check it out. Over here, you can see a van with a NASA sticker. This says Mars over here.
Thanks for clarifying this, because that's what the whole conspiracy is about. We know that NASA is on Devon Island, and we know that all the pictures that they take for Mars are from Devon Island.
Very similar to Mars. These are real photos. Here's Devon Island. Here's Mars.
What's your source? Those are real photos? Is your source NASA? Okay, even if this photo has zero legitimacy whatsoever, let's see why we should trust NASA.
It looks like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still? See the hair?
Yeah, no, we definitely see your hair there, and we see it going completely straight up because it's hairspray. Why aren't your chains floating? Let's keep on rolling, though. Let's have a look at this harness grab. Why does he grab a harness? I thought they should be just floating in space. Look at him grab the harness. Clearly, he's grabbing the harness. It's plain as day. This guy's just picking up and moving objects at will. Got this dude floating in the background. That's a harness. That's another harness, guys. Look at that. Just floating away with his harness. There's the disappearing man. Oh, what happened there? Whoa. It's magic. Must be because they're in space. Yeah, that makes sense. This dude, pulling apart a screw, drops on the ground. Watch it drop on the ground. Why isn't it floating? Let's have a look at the technology we went to the moon with that would cost $22 billion to build today. This is what we went to the moon with, guys. How did $1 billion organization like NASA lose this technology and we can't go back to the moon? And you think we're taking pictures of Mars? It's hysterical. That is tinfoil. There's more tinfoil for you. This is what you think we went to the moon with. Yeah, okay. Let's believe NASA, guys. That's a good source. And I'll leave you with this. This is what Mars really looks like under a Nikon P1000. Camera that was discontinued after involvement with NASA. Does this look like a physical object to you guys? Don't believe people like this. More than likely paid to deceive humanity. What the stars and the planets really are. They're frequencies of light within the waters above, just like all of our ancestors told us. And the real truth to everything is found within. Peace and love.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated now, making moves, started waves. I've been breathing on my fire for a long time. I had a vision from the place they want to go inside. I'm officially intelligent away. I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a listening of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sing, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I don't need roll. When I move, it's it up with rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho. When I
In 2016, a group of independent researchers gathered at a salt flat in Bolivia, one of the flattest surfaces on Earth. Their mission, to test something that's rarely questioned, but absolutely foundational. How far can you see? before the curve takes it all away. According to the globe model, Earth curves at 8 inches per mile squared. That means objects should disappear from view beyond a certain distance, hidden by the curve. So they set out with lasers, high-zoom cameras, and infrared tech. Their goal wasn't to prove anything, just to measure how far light and sight could travel in open, uninterrupted space. They placed a laser just 3 feet above the surface. According to globe math, it should have been invisible beyond 6 miles, but the beam remained visible at 10 miles, then 15, then over 20. No curvature blocked it. Next, they filmed distant buildings, boats, and islands across large lakes, sometimes 30, 40, even 100 miles away. According to the globe model, these objects should have been hidden behind hundreds of feet of Earth's curve. But the entire structure, base to top, remained visible. No atmospheric bending, no magic refraction, just direct line of sight. And then came the most damning test of all. 2 flags were set up miles apart on a frozen lake, with a third person holding a camera at the same height in the middle. If Earth was curved, the middle flag should have appeared higher due to the curve, but all 3 lined up perfectly, dead flat. Over and over again, from lakes to coastlines, the same result. No curvature. Even over distances that should hide entire skylines, everything stayed in view, right where it should be on a flat plane. These weren't conspiracies. They were measurable, repeatable, real-world distance experiments. No matter how far they tested, the curve never appeared, and the only thing that disappeared was the credibility of the spinning globe theory. Because if Earth had curvature, we would see it, but all we see is flat. Still believe we live on a giant ball? Then explain why nothing ever curves away. Share this video. Tag someone who needs to look again, and follow now, because real science doesn't hide behind theory, it stares you in the face. Across 100 miles of truth, this video is for entertainment purposes.
The year was 1969. A grainy screen flickered. A voice crackled. One small step for man. The world held its breath, but you know, something about the footage always gnawed at me. Years later, I found myself alone in a dark room replaying that broadcast. The hiss of static, the ghostly figures bouncing in slow motion. My stomach tightened. Shadows stretched in different directions as if lit by more than one source. My heart raced. On the moon with one sun, how could that be? That was the situation, a simple recording, a childhood memory. And the desire? To know if humanity had really leapt beyond the Earth, or if we had been handed an illusion staged on the ground we walk every day. The conflict came fast. Every question was brushed aside. It was the cameras. It was the dust. Excuses piled up. But the deeper I looked, the stranger it became. Why no stars in the sky? Why did the flag ripple, though no air exists to move it? Why did the astronauts' footprints press crisp into powder, yet the landing module left no crater beneath it? The clock ticked past midnight as I leaned closer to the glowing screen, sweat on my palms. The shadows still haunted me. If this was real, why did it look so staged? Why did it feel more like a studio than the surface of another world? Then came the change. I stumbled across records, NASA quietly admitting they lost the original tapes. Lost. The most important achievement in human history, and the master footage vanished. My chest tightened. My breath caught. Who loses history unless there was something to hide? And the result? Well, it's a shiver of realization, isn't it? Maybe the greatest show ever broadcast wasn't really proof of space exploration. It was proof of manipulation. Proof that with enough trust, people will accept the unbelievable. And if they could fake the sky once, what else might they be hiding about the ground beneath our feet? So here's my challenge. Don't take the moon landing as sacred. Watch it again. Look at the shadows, the flag, the missing stars. Ask the questions they don't want asked. Because, you know, the greatest flat earth proof isn't out there on the moon. It's in the cracks of the story they sold you. And if this shook you even for a moment, share it, follow, because honestly, the truth doesn't just demand to be seen, it demands to be faced.
The Earth is flat with a dome around it. Sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, right? But what if I told you that this idea doesn't just come from ancient myths? It's built on actual observations and physical evidence you can see for yourself. By the end of this, you might start questioning your reality. We're raised believing we live on a spinning ball in an infinite universe with no walls, no boundaries, and nothing holding us in. But if that were true, why does the sky act like it has limits? Why do rockets always arc and never fly straight up indefinitely? And why do do we get strange phenomena like the firm boundary pilots have reported hitting when flying at extreme altitudes? And if the sky is just empty space, how can sound waves bounce back from above? How can meteors burn up at a fixed altitude as if they're hitting something solid? These aren't questions you hear in school, but they're questions people have been asking for centuries. The flat Earth dome model explains this perfectly. Picture the Earth as a vast level plain surrounded by an ice wall and covered by a solid, transparent dome, like a snow globe. The sun, moon and stars aren't millions of miles away. They're inside this dome, moving in predictable paths above us. The dome acts like a barrier, containing our atmosphere and separating us from whatever lies beyond. This isn't a new concept. Nearly every ancient civilization described the heavens as a firm, solid structure. Even modern science accidentally hints at it when talking about the Kármán line or the limits of the atmosphere. Think about the stars. On the globe model, we're supposedly hurtling through space at unimaginable speeds, yet the constellations look exactly the same year after year. On the dome model, they're fixed points of light moving along a set track, which is exactly what we observe. Or consider rainbows. A rainbow is a reflection of light off a curved surface of water droplets, but the perfect dome shape of the arc in the sky suggests light interacting with a curved structure above us. Even sunlight behaves differently than we're told. On certain days, sun rays appear to fan out from a small local source, known as crepuscular rays, suggesting the sun is much closer and moving inside the dome, rather than lighting us from 93 million miles away. And here's something to think about. If rockets really go into space, why do their flight paths always curve and vanish from sight, instead of continuing straight up until they're out of view? If the Earth is flat with a dome around it, it means our world isn't an accident. It's a designed, enclosed system. That changes everything about who we are, where we are, and what might be beyond those boundaries. So the question becomes, if there's a dome, what's outside it? And why have we been told it's not there? Follow this page for more videos that dig deeper into these questions. Because once you start seeing the clues, you can't unsee them. This is for entertainment purposes.
Hoje vamos falar sobre Nikola Tesla e porque é que a tecnologia dele foi tão suprimida e como é que o mundo poderia ser um mundo melhor agora se tivéssemos optado por continuar com a tecnologia dele.
Nikola Tesla nasceu a 10 de julho de 1856, numa pequena aldeia chamada Smiljan, no que hoje é a Croácia, mas na altura fazia parte do Império Austro-Húngaro. E atenção a este detalhe que muitos ignoram. Tesla nasceu durante uma tempestade elétrica brutal. A parteira disse que isso era mau presságio. A mãe respondeu open quote, não, ele será filho da luz. Close quote, desde criança Tesla tinha visões, literalmente. Via máquinas na mente antes de as construir. Falava fluentemente múltiplas línguas. Era obcecado por padrões numéricos, especialmente pelo 3, 6 e 9, que ele dizia serem as chaves do universo. Fez engenharia elétrica em Graz, na Áustria, e depois trabalhou em Paris com equipamentos de telegrafia. Eventualmente, mudou-se para os Estados Unidos, com pouco mais de 4 cêntimos no bolso e um livro de poesia. Foi aí que começou a sua jornada meteórica. Primeiro trabalhou com Thomas Edison, mas logo entrou em conflito. Edison era um empresário, um homem prático. Tesla era um visionário. Edison queria lucro. Tesla queria libertar o mundo. Não se misturavam. Tesla não era apenas engenheiro ou físico. Era algo mais. Era como se tivesse acedido à informação de fora do tempo. Ele não comia carne e evitava contato físico com pessoas. Dizia que a castidade alimentava o intelecto e que o celibato ajudava a manter a mente sintonizada. Era um homem absolutamente incompreendido pelo seu tempo. O New York Times chegou a chamá-lo de cientista louco. Mas os arquivos secretos mostram outra coisa. Um gênio que incomodava o sistema mais do que qualquer outro antes dele.
Tenho algo importante para mostrar e abrir os seus olhos com isso. Vamos ver.
O filho do Elon Musk sozinho consome recurso suficiente para 50 mil crianças pobres de Carapicuíba. Que são pobres porque esse cara está consumindo 50 mil recursos de 50 mil pessoas. Então o cuidado que a gente tem que tomar quando a gente faz essa análise o problema não é populacional se você tem seres humanos no planeta que consomem 500 vezes mais recursos do que outros seres humanos. Faz sentido isso pra você? Entendo. Então eu vou te dar um...
Mentira! Então vamos lá. Quer dizer que as 50 mil crianças de Carapicuíba são pobres por causa dos filhos do Elon Musk.
No vídeo de hoje eu vou te mostrar que isso é uma mentira. Já percebeu que a galera da esquerda precisa sempre trazer alguém que produz como exemplo para dizer que isso é o que causa a pobreza das outras pessoas? Vamos lá, quem é Elon Musk? Ele é dono de 6 empresas que juntas faturam mais de 610 bi. Ele emprega mais de 200 mil pessoas e só por isso os filhos desse cara têm acesso a algumas coisas que as outras pessoas não têm. Esses dias uma pessoa veio aqui na minha postagem que eu estava brincando com os meus filhos aqui em casa no pula-pula, escreveu assim: mais uma família capitalista que pega dinheiro dos outros para ter privilégio. Ô cara pálida, eu passei fome na minha infância. Eu parei de trabalhar de estudar com 11 anos de idade para começar a trabalhar. Minha irmã começou a trabalhar com 9. E sabe por que eu tenho pula-pula e piscina na minha casa hoje? É simples, é porque eu trabalho desde os 11 anos de idade. Mas vamos lá, eu não preciso pegar o dinheiro dos filhos do Elon Musk lá nos Estados Unidos para sustentar as 50 mil crianças aqui do Brasil. Dá uma olhada no que o teu governo de esquerda fez com 16,9 bi. Ele deu para os artistas. É o Robin Hood ao contrário, pega do pobre para dar pro rico. Que rico para dar? Olha, só a Cláudia Raia teve liberações de 5 milhões. Olha só, pobrezinha ela, né? Agora presta atenção, se eu pegasse esses 16,9 bi para sustentar as 50 mil crianças da sua cara putuída, daria para dar um salário mínimo para cada uma dessas 50 mil crianças durante, presta atenção, 18 anos e 5 meses. Agora dá uma olhadinha no correio. Estão passando dificuldade, não tem dinheiro, né? Mas olha só o que o seu governo fez com ele. Fez graça, mandou dinheiro para Bogotá fazendo patrocínio. Aliás, o governo vai patrocinar agora o reality show A Fazenda com o seu dinheiro. Aliás, o governo tem financiado a Globo com o seu dinheiro. Aliás, a cada 17 dias o Haddad cria um novo imposto e por ano a gente arrecada 5,5 trilhões. Mas o dinheiro vai pro ralo, então parem de engano. Me ajuda, compartilhe esse vídeo com alguém, manda nos grupos de WhatsApp, vamos acabar com esse engano. Manda para a primeira pessoa que você lembrou. Um grande abraço e bora.
E você vai me dizendo a sua opinião aí embaixo também, nos comentários desse vídeo.
O que será que vai acontecer em agosto de 2025?
Um terremoto de magnitude 8,8 atingiu o mar no extremo oriente da Rússia e causou tsunamis, viu? Vários países na região estão em alerta.
Oi, gente, estamos aqui. Olha aqui a areia. A moça da barraquinha disse que até ontem as ondas estavam muito altas, muito fortes.
Brinca, Malha, brinca!
Trump vai estar no poder, viu, Bruno? E aí, dia 29 de agosto de 2025...
Isso aí, espera aí.
Many have heard that the Earth is flat. While some dismiss it as a joke or conspiracy theory, the idea has existed for thousands of years. Throughout history, nearly all ancient civilizations believed the Earth was flat, a disk beneath a round sky. even in many cultures, the sky was seen as a dome covering a flat Earth. Since the introduction of the heliocentric model by Copernicus and the rapid advancements in space exploration, people have been taught that the Earth is a globe. However, recently, the flat Earth theory has resurged, gaining over 1 million followers worldwide. There is even a Flat Earth Society in the United States, with members from all walks of life, including celebrities. Official sources publish numerous photos of Earth from space, portraying a round planet. Yet, many remain skeptical. Flat Earth supporters argue that no matter how high one observes the horizon, it always appears flat. Even at altitudes exceeding 32,000 meters, the horizon remains flat. Considering Mount Everest stands at only 8,848 meters, this flatness is notable. According to believers, the curvature shown in NASA's photos and other agencies' releases might be digitally enhanced or misunderstood. Some suggest that governments could be hiding aspects of our world that don't align with the official narrative, pointing to certain map projections that resemble flat Earth models. The flat Earth model envisions the Earth as a flat disk with the North Pole at the center and the South Pole as a massive ice wall surrounding the edges, holding oceans in place. Interestingly, the Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, limits access to Antarctica, allowing only supervised research. Some question whether this treaty is simply about environmental protection or something more. The lack of commercial flight routes over Antarctica also sparks curiosity. Some flat Earth theorists wonder what lies beyond the icy perimeter and why it's so inaccessible. Flat Earth theory also offers unique explanations for celestial phenomena. The sun and moon are believed to revolve above the flat Earth, illuminating portions of the disk during day and night. According to this model, the sun and moon are roughly the same distance from Earth, about 4,800 kilometers. Gravity, in this theory, is often reinterpreted. Instead of an invisible force, Flat Earth proponents suggest that the Earth might be accelerating upward at a constant rate, creating the sensation of gravity, though this idea is not supported by mainstream science. Many Flat Earth believers express doubt toward photos of Earth from space, preferring personal observation over second-hand images. Some go as far as to suggest that the round Earth narrative serves to maintain a specific worldview and prevent independent thinking. The deeper one explores Flat Earth theory, the more mysterious and provocative it can become. If proven true, it would challenge much of what we accept about our world. Still, mainstream science continues to support the globe model, and Flat Earth beliefs remain a controversial topic outside of academic consensus. Why does every ancient civilization describe the Earth as flat? Why do modern maps distort continents? The Flativerse app brings ancient knowledge and modern tech together. Explore a 3D flat Earth with interactive tools, time zones, maps, and more. Link in bio.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated now, make a move, start a waves. I've been breathing on my fire for a long time. I had a vision from the present, want to go inside. I'm officially intelligent away. I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a listening of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sing, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I don't need roll. When I move, it's it up with rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like scary gold. When I'm
They have been telling us the truth in the movies for far too long. You've just got to have the eyes to see it. Check this out.
It was just one hand. One hand. Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant. Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt? Nope. Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? How about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
And that is exactly the point. There is billions of us and only a handful of them. They keep us divided, distracted and fearful because the moment that we remember our strength, it's game over for them. Now, we are the resistance. We are the ones that they fear. When we stand shoulder to shoulder, united in truth, no system, no government, no illusion of control can hold us down. The ants outnumber the grasshoppers and they know it deep down. But obviously, for the sensory reasons, this was just for entertainment and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
What if I told you the movie Pirates of the Caribbean didn't just entertain, it revealed something ancient, something hidden? Look at the title. At World's End. You think that's a joke? They literally sail to the end of the known ocean, the edge. And then a frozen wasteland. Massive ice walls. A blizzard so thick it swallows everything. Tell me, does that sound like fantasy to you? Or maybe, just maybe, it's a symbolic reflection of the truth we're not supposed to see. They reach this untouched place beyond maps, beyond reason. A place many believe surrounds our known world, an ice barrier. And it doesn't stop there. Ice Age? Same thing. A group trapped inside a valley surrounded by a gigantic wall of ice. They think that's all there is. Sound familiar? It's not storytelling. It's sneaky disclosure. Truth wrapped in fiction. Why? So when people like me talk about it, we sound insane. Clever, huh? But once you see it, truly see it, you realize it's everywhere. And the sad part, most people would rather stay blind.